I call to order tonight's Board of Education meeting, Dixon Unit School District 170, Monday, October 27th, 2025, for a special meeting. Roll call.
Mr. Fritz?
Here.
Mrs. Gates?
Here.
Mrs. LeBlanc Parks?
Here.
Mr. Rogers?
Here.
Mrs. Schaefer? Here. Mr. Wadsworth?
Here.
Mrs. Wagner?
Here. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So tonight we'll be talking about questions we want to ask on Wednesday and contract details. So
You want to go into closed session?
Oh, sorry.
Yep.
Hey, Linda, before
I'm
we
trying to get this over.
do that and move into executive session, I've got a quick procedural motion to make. It'll just take a second. So, you know, I've had some feelings about this whole 2 candidates, 3 candidates thing, and this is not about 2 candidates versus 3 candidates, just to be clear. It's about what kind of board we are and about what it means for us to act like a board. So the way I see it, the community elected us to be a deliberative assembly, is the words that I read, and that means we get together in the same room to talk to each other and make decisions for leading the district together. Personally, I believe that we make our best decisions when we're in the same room as each other, face to face, hearing each other and doing it together. I think we owe the community that level of transparency to do that. There is this thing called the Open Meetings Act that exists to protect that principle. It's not like a weapon or something to try to silence people or other things, but it's just there to remind us to do our work transparently and together. And I get it that we're in a really intense time right now, and it's, for me, it's a really important time. I think you and Linda, you and I talked about it. This is probably the most, in my opinion, the most important thing we're going to do as a board is to hire somebody. And with that comes a lot of pressure. There's candidates waiting, there's schedules that are tight, we've got community expectations. But for me, we can't compromise on our identity and our integrity in the name of expediency. So with that in mind, I've got a motion I'd like to make. I move that the board affirm as a matter of policy and practice that all board decisions and directions, including changes to prior board decisions on substantive matters of district governance, would be made together in a properly posted meeting with deliberation among members present rather than through email or other individual communication. And that's it. For me, I just want us to make good decisions together. I love what we do. I really like all of us. For me, I had a lot of fun on Thursday night when we're all in the same room and doing stuff. And I think that's the spirit that I want to put that in motion. And I'd ask if there's a second to that motion.
I'll second that.
I don't know if we can take a vote like this.
You're right. We actually can't take a vote on final action, and that's why I'm not asking for any final action.
Okay.
What I'm asking for is for the board to affirm this principle together and to consider as a later motion on another regular board meeting a certain policy,
Okay.
which I happen to have a copy of for you to read in case you didn't catch every word that I said as I was blabbering through it. And I also understand, Linda, why you have things written down that you read from, because I thought I would try to say some of that out loud, and it was not possible for me. So
You don't get it all in the right order, or you forget one of the most important parts.
Exactly. So,
Okay,
for your
very good.
reference. Thanks.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
This probably just could be included in our board agreements.
I have the same thought, and
You
for
know,
me,
that
that there's a
Board agreements that we have.
that seems like at a
worked
very
on
minimum
together.
a good place to put it. I feel like we treat these as sacred. Policy is also a special thing, and I plan to make a motion to include it in policy as well.
Okay.
And
So
yeah, go ahead.
act on this. So we're talking about this now, discussing it. We'll act on it in November.
So
Is that what
there's a
you see?
motion on the table currently to, as you see there in front of you, and I think I read exactly what that says, but there's a motion that the board affirm as a matter of policy and practice that, I'm not going to read it for you again. You can.
Yeah.
But there is a motion on the table with a second right now.
With a vote to be included.
Yeah, so I think as a matter of policy, the board must vote on it.
So you're acting to change our board agreements then?
I'm doing two things. One is that I'm asking us to affirm this, and then number two is I'm just kind of letting you know that I will be making a motion later, since we can't take a final action tonight that actually changes policy. I'm letting you know that I plan to make that motion at a regular board meeting.
So I have a problem that it wasn't on any kind of agenda.
That's true, and if I was trying to make a final action decision tonight, that would actually not be appropriate to do it not on an agenda.
Okay.
But,
Unfortunately, you haven't provided us with a written agenda,
yeah,
which is your
it's
role.
also in board book. But, yeah, under Robert's rules, any member can make a motion when the floor is open. There's limits to what you can take final action on, but Kathleen can move that we all go get a Snickers bar right now if you like.
I'm not
I would
opposed,
approve that.
and I call for roll.
Well, I read,
Well,
I might have
unless
a
there's
discussion, I have a
More
question.
discussion,
Isn't this the law right now?
No,
Is it, it's
no.
not the law?
No.
Explain that to me, what part isn't?
Several people, including myself, talked to Tim today.
I'm sorry?
We talked to Tim today. It's not legal.
What's
It's not best practices to make a decision outside of the board meeting,
Which
Or
has
call
happened
for it.
last week.
which happened last week and happened a lot before that. It's been much less than we ever did before.
Linda, my question is, what John's motion, isn't that the present law that we all have to follow?
I actually don't think so, but
And I'm
from the
looking
research
for
I did, there's a
explanation.
few things in here that are not, some of it is like law that's open to interpretation today. There's parts of Open Meetings Act that are like, that's why you write things down. I couldn't quote for you exactly what it is, but there are ways to interpret Open Meetings Act that this is, but I feel like I just want to be super clear and like spell it out, is why I want to do it today.
So do you feel it was a violation of Open Meetings Act?
Sorry, say again?
Do you feel it was a violation of Open Meetings Act in the past week?
Do I feel like there was a violation?
I think it was a violation of transparency,
Yeah.
and it was a manipulation of several of the board members in here who capitulated to that pressure from the board president. But I do believe that you are within your rights legally, and it will slide right by until we take a formal vote on this.
So I'm in favor of, if there's any more discussion, roll call on this.
Mr. Fritz?
Aye.
Mrs. Gates?
I'm sorry, do you have something else to say?
I'm confused what affirm means.
Hmm.
What am I doing that's different than a vote, which we can't,
Yeah,
I guess is
yeah.
my confusion.
The way I see it, I think when somebody stands up in court and says, I solemnly swear or affirm that, you're just like, you're kind of saying out loud, I agree with this thing. And it is not binding in any way, it's not, but you're saying out loud that you agree. That's my understanding of that, and
That we will proceed with a formal vote on this subject, is
Oh,
what you're affirming.
Okay.
there's that.
If I'm affirming that we'll take a vote on it.
We'll take a vote on it in November.
For me, there is two pieces. I am asking you to affirm that you would agree with this from a personal sense, and that I'm just informing you that it will be, that a motion will be made to add it to board policy later. But if you don't agree with it, then please vote no.
No, I actually do agree with it, I'm just feel like we're voting, well, we're not officially voting, we're affirming, but then we're voting on it. It just seems like
Oh.
we're doing it twice, is I have no problem with the idea of bringing it up for a vote in November, and I'll vote yes. I just don't understand why we're doing the first
I
part.
love it. I love it. Like that's the question I want to ask, is like being really transparent about what it is that we're doing.
I think part of our policy is that we don't surprise each other with things. And we had a decision the other night, and I take a lot of responsibility for not following David's advice and coming down here and taking a formal vote on that the other night. Because if we had, it would have been on record, in public. And because it wasn't, that decision was changed. And I think this is just spelling out exactly what this board's intentions are going to be, and what our transparency is going to be, and what our integrity will remain.
Okay, but when Aaron calls for roll call, that's normally a vote.
Mhm.
But
And wha-
she's not,
and
she's
wha-
just calling a roll call to affirm?
The vote is, do you affirm this thing? And do you want to change board policy?
Do we agree with the motion right
Yeah,
there?
do you, we as a board agree with something in kind of an informal way? When we make it formal, that would be final action on something, we'll add it to board policy if we should so choose.
Okay, I guess I'm just trying to protect us from getting into trouble that we're voting,
Yep.
even though you're calling it affirming, we're voting on something that wasn't on the agenda.
Mhm.
So if we just say, what, does everybody agree it should be on in November? And
Yeah.
we're like, yeah, I'm fine with that. But that she's calling roll call makes me a little
Yeah,
nervous.
we can,
What did you read? Can we
Yeah,
call for consensus, or? do
no,
we have
so
to call
I've made
for
a
vote?
formal motion, and it's had a formal second, and so
Yeah.
I think Robert's rules dictates that it must come to a vote.
You can still vote however you want in November.
Yeah. And I like your concern, Kathleen.
Right,
I think
I
that
do
it's
too.
not, the way I understand it is we're not, the board isn't bound by an affirmation in the same way that it's bound by policy. And if I was asking for policy, then that would be out of order, quite frankly.
And this
It can't be
isn't an
final.
action item.
I don't know what the definition of action item is, honestly.
It has to be listed as
Those have to
action
be
items.
listed.
Right, it's not listed on there, but
For the public.
according to Robert's rules, any board member gonna make a motion to get a Snickers bar perhaps, or whatever, and in this case, I'm asking for an affirmation to.
So like on number 3, I'm reading this here. So you're saying that we cannot talk to each other outside of your individual communication. Board shall not deliberate
That's the word.
or decide.
Those are the two words.
Yeah.
It's not that we can't
Talk.
speak individually to
Okay,
each other.
Exactly.
We can't, we obviously have to follow OMA, but there will be no
Correct.
deliberations or decisions made outside of our board meetings.
So how can we,
This would have been very
Affirm.
handy during COVID.
Yeah.
It
how can we affirm that there's no decisions made? That's obviously perception. So if I talk to you about a decision that you're bringing Snickers to the board meeting, and you talk to each one
Then you broke OMA.
Talking to each one, that's one thing, but if you and I talk about it,
individually though, if I talk to you, you call me up and say, I want Snickers, and I'm
Yeah.
being sarcastic here,
Yep.
obviously. And then you call Dave up, and you call Linda up, and
if
so.
I called Dave up and said,
call
hey, Brandon and I
individually.
have already agreed on this, can we count on your vote? Boom, that's not cool, that's against OMA. But
Yeah.
if you and I call and we talk about how we feel about Snickers, my understanding is that's cool, and we can get clarification on that, I think.
Yes, I think we did during COVID, we got clarification, and if you make several calls in a row and say the same thing, even if you don't
Right.
say, these two talked, and then you ask for approval over here, even if
Right.
you just call like this.
Go around trying to get approval
that-
from a bunch of people,
yeah,
like, that's not cool.
That is breaking OMA. But it's hard to detect and not often caught and usually slides under the radar. But it's not right.
Yeah, so Brandon, I'm not gonna answer the question you asked me earlier. I'm not gonna answer it directly, because
Decide. Well, we have a month to get clarification.
Kind of get Tim's opinion on this as well.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Was there conversation about this with,
I haven't talked to anybody about this, I've,
What's it called? What did you call it? Procedural motion?
what did I call what? I'm making a procedural motion, yeah.
Well, I appreciate that you do some research.
I did a bunch of research, you got it, you got it. And I get, like I said, I've got a lot more respect for you reading things off the,
Well, otherwise you get done and you think, I forgot that one.
yeah,
I
part of me
forgot that."
says, if I feel strongly about this, I should be able to speak from the heart. It's hard to get all the details.
It is. And- okay. So I have no problem calling for roll. I guess, unless
Yeah,
there's
and people
other
can abstain too if they
conversation.
don't want to.
Mr. Fritz? I just didn't know if I needed to start again.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay, Mrs. Gates, we already said that. Okay, Mrs. LeBlanc Parks?
Wait a minute,
What?
Yeah.
I thought we were just gonna do a consensus instead of a roll call.
Yeah.
No, he's already asked for the motion and it's been seconded, and we second. We have to go back and go around and do that.
I know Robert's Rules of Order, but then how are you gonna, what are you gonna write it down as?
I'm gonna have to do a little research.
See, so,
I'm sorry, I'm giving you work here.
I don't know.
I don't, yeah,
Yeah, I
So
mean, it
you're
seems
saying
kinda-
that if the motion is on
You
the
gotta
table and
answer a
seconded,
motion.
you do have to,
That's my understanding.
we have to
I- I
what?
do some
We have to
research on it.
vote on it?
we have to act on
gonna
it, on the motion.
That's where I'm just, yeah, I just don't know. Again, I don't have a problem with this, and I don't have a problem with voting on it in November. I just don't procedurally feel a little uncomfortable with this. But I'm not an expert. I don't know.
Well, I say you
Is
can,
abstaining an option? I don't like,
Absolutely,
I complicate it
absolutely
even more,
abstaining is an option.
but.
no,
Yes, abstain or
It is.
pass,
Yeah.
aye or no. All those are options.
I can't skip you.
I know,
I'm dying to know how you're after Al. Didn't? We got
Oh,
Gates
she
right
didn't
there.
Melissa.
Yeah.
I used to
But
be
anyway,
after
your
us.
call,
I know.
She's after G.
go for it. What?
She's after G, not Melissa. Not
Um,
It,
Continue.
okay. Okay, fine, yes, fine.
Okay. Mr. Rogers?
nay.
Mrs. Schaefer?
Abstain.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Aye.
Mrs. Wagner?
aye.
You know what this feels like? It feels like growing pains. I feel like we're growing as a board. And I like it. Thanks for.
Well, I've never heard of a procedural motion, I've never heard it come before the board like that in 8 years. Nobody's ever done
Learn
it,
something every day.
so, but open-minded. So we'll be talking about the questions and the contract. No, I
Nope.
still have to do this.
Now it's time for executive.
I recommend closed session for the purpose of discussing the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees, including hearing testimony on a complaint lodged against an employee to determine its validity. Motion?
So moved.
A second?
Great.
And the time, 5:16? Roll call.
Mr. Fritz?
Aye.
Mrs. Gates?
Aye.
Mrs. LeBlanc Parks?
Aye.
Mr. Rogers?
Aye.
Mrs. Schaefer?
Aye.
Mr. Wadsworth?
Aye.
Mrs. Wagner?
Aye.